AI is stalking you, and you don't even know it. AI is in every aspect of modern life, even in places where you might not realize. The power of AI is reshaping the future and all industries in many unforeseen ways. From tracking where you spend your money and what you research for online, AI has the amazing performance of creating behavioral analysis in where it can predict what items you are likely to buy, when, and at what price points. AI is in every aspect of modern life. AI is changing the landscape of personal safety, privacy. Prime examples, as you can see, taken from heaven, cyber heaven. You can see that this chart is in hundreds of thousands of employees per data point. From March of 2023 to March of 2024, there has been an uptake of 385% usage in the professional workspace. Now, this is just a professional workspace. Not saying what's happening in the private sector, which has grown even more exponentially, but a lot harder to track. AI tracks everything and creates profiles on individuals. For example, you have Google and Amazon. Alexa with Amazon has already been known to eavesdrop on people's conversations, taking bits of data, such as you happen to say, "Oh, I need baby formula," or "Hey, my car broke down." Keywords such as those will prompt Amazon's algorithms to start showing you advertisements in where these things happen to be on sale. Get 10% off for new brake pads. Get a 10% discount on maybe new light bulbs. Or here's a 20% discount when you buy baby formula in bulk. Whatever it may be. All of these things are happening. Google is no stranger to this either. Just make a few comments around any AI open source Google, and you will start seeing advertisement even in your YouTube feeds. It so happens that I mentioned that I had, car trouble. Next thing I know, Google is showing me random advertisements for buying a new vehicle. Things like these happen. These profiles are being created. Now this brings us to a bit of an ethical dilemma. Is AI neutral? Is AI free of corruption? Is AI just a mindless machine droning on with ones and zeros? The answer is no. AI, like any other tool, can be used for whatever its creators intended it to. So we must explore the ethics of AI implementation cautiously. There is a study that was conducted that was published in the Scientific Journal by Douglas Young, in where he explores the idea of the efficacy of AI and its bias. In the conclusion of his research paper that he created, he came to the determination that yes, AI can be very much biased and it should be further explored. AI has been found that it's taken on the bias of its creators. For example, just in an abstract illustration, if you program your AI to always favor the color green, there's nothing wrong with green. It's not better or inferior to any color. However, because it's ingrained into the AI that it's at the top of the hierarchy, then it will always lean in that favor. It will give you the proper computations for logical problems such as 2 plus 2 is 4, absolutely. But when you start getting into more complex worldwide ethical dilemmas, it might not so be white and black, if you will. It might lean more towards do X, Y, and Z because of green. That's just a very abstract way of trying to explain it. However, I think it conveys the idea. Bias is very much real in its algorithmic programming. Machine learning is real. It will learn on its own. However, in order to learn, you must have a base. That base is how you take in that information. And if that's where the bias programming exists, then therefore everything moving forward and everything built upon it will have that ingrained bias. It turns out machines are not that different than humans at times. And that brings us to further ethical questions of the implementation of AI. Back in 2024, in November, we have a congressman in the state of Colorado, Democrat John Hinkelloop. He began a committee in search of both the efficacy and usage of AI. I am no fan of government, and I'm guessing many of you here probably are not. Government has not exactly been friendly to most people over the years. However, there is some truth and good that can be found in it. While the congressman focuses more on election interference and other such things, there is something that they should focus on, not so much for the sake of their power, but for the sake of the protection of everyday humans. And that comes in the face of overreach of the government, potentially outlawing certain things that might actually inhibit the ability for people to either make breakthroughs in medication, pharmaceuticals, and whatnot. So that is a very tenuous line that we need to thread carefully. Lastly, it's no secret that AI has been a great tool for hacking. Just to give a few examples, TaskRabbit back in 2018 affected 3.75 million clients that lost all their personal data off the cloud information from IKEA servers and whatnot. In 2023, you had the Yum attack that ended up in ransomware, costing millions upon millions of dollars to these companies, in where, for example, it was affected with T-Mobile, in where 300 different locations in the UK had to shut down because of the ransomware. And T-Mobile again in 2022, they lost 37 million people's information, private information, that got bought, shared, redirected within the dark web. AI is a tool for great innovation and potential great vulnerabilities to our modern lives. Like when Einstein discovered his famous formula, E equals mc squared, and relativity became a thing. He had no idea that the Manhattan Project would ever take place. In the pursuit of knowledge, he gave us atomic energy. And other people found a way to create that into the most devastating weapon humanity has ever known. And again, we are in the crossroads. The future of technology. Where will it lead us? What precautions should we take?